What is crack-a-lackin' YouTube? This is Cat McQuack, and thank you guys for tuning in yet again. I can't express enough how much your fandom and your support is appreciated. You guys are great. I hope that I keep developing subscribers, and maybe one day I'll be at like Markiplier level with like 21 million people. Although I understand I'm not half as charming as that dude is. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about the insurance industry. The reason that I'm talking about the insurance industry is that's something I do, kind of. 99% of the time, I'm your mild-mannered picture frame maker. I make frames in a warehouse, and we put big, giant panoramic shots of stadiums and football, etc. If you've ever been to a Buffalo Wild Wings, you'll look on the wall and you'll say, "Oh, hey, Canon probably created that." I might have. But I have an insurance adjuster's license, which means that whenever a hurricane hits, I'm usually out there making money, taking care of people, doing what it is that I do. During Hurricane Harvey, when Hurricane Harvey hit the Gulf Coast, I was in Houston for about 2 months, and I made a pretty good deal of money. It's a very lucrative job title. So I was out there and I was doing my thing, and I made a nice little sack of cash, and I came home to Florida, and we had a friend. Now, this friend, whose name I guess we're going to leave out, we're just going to call her Shathid. Shathid. Now, one day, towards the end of the year, Shathid came over with her husband. We're going to call him Billy. They came over, and we'd known him for a while. Now, I knew my stepdad was an adjuster, and he had worked for Shathid before. Now, Shathid hadn't paid him. She hadn't paid him for the work that he had done for her. And it wasn't an official contract type thing. It was just like, "Hey, you're in Miami, right, Mike? Why don't you go and take some of these claims and go do those for me, and I'll give you some money." She never did that. Well, she came over around New Year's with her husband, Billy, and Shathid was talking about all of this opportunity. And she's like, "Look, we have this opportunity. You guys can go to a claim and take pictures of a home," which, by the way, if you don't know what an insurance adjuster does, basically they come to your house, they have a ladder, they take pictures of the damages, they go through every room in the house which damage occurred, they go through the backyard, they get into the attic, and they get onto the roof, and then they come home and they write up the estimate. And that's how you know how much money you get. Which, by the way, I want to say that insurance adjusters' salary, the amount of money we make is completely and totally dependent on how much money you get. So if we're saying, "Look, you're not getting anything for it," we're not getting shit for it. So the entire industry is totally dependent upon our honesty. If you can get a bunch of money for a claim, we're going to write the biggest claim we can write, because we get a bigger percentage from writing that claim. So if you ever have a claim, understand your adjuster is somebody you can trust. Now, what I want you to understand, that in relation to your adjuster, your contractor is not somebody you can trust. Your contractor is full of shit, and completely and totally your contractor is there to make money. With your adjuster, the more money you get from an insurance claim, the more money they get. So trust your adjuster. Be very careful. So Shathid was over here, and we were all having a good time with her and her husband, Billy, and we were talking things, and she said, "Look, I have this opportunity. I put together this team with lawyers, etc. And this particular company, we're going to call them Intelligent Insurance Agencies, wants us to pull together a team of adjusters. And what we're going to do is we're going to call our company Top Risk." Now, they're telling us that other companies are going to pay adjusters from other companies that are bidding on this opportunity $500 a piece, and we're like, "Nah, look, we're going to pay our adjusters $200 a piece." And we're like, "All right, that's cool. Now, you guys don't have to go through all the crazy hassles that you have to do on a normal basis. Just go through and take pictures. Take one quick picture of the roof. You don't even have to get on the roof, and once you turn those pictures in, you get $200 straight out the gate, just like that. Easy, right? Easy money. Best job in the world as far as being an adjuster goes." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, okay." And I made sure I showed my enthusiasm. And I was like, "Hey, Mike, you and me," because it was me and my stepdad that she was pitching to. And I was like, let's go to the patio. Shathid, Billy, Mom, you guys have a good time. Sit there, enjoy your cocktails. We're going to go powwow for a minute. What Shathid doesn't understand is that what we talked about on the patio was how untrustworthy Shathid was. Shathid was a shithead. Shathid. Now, Shathid was notorious for not paying people. She was kind of shady. And I told Mike, I was like, look, man, we might not get paid. We talked about a lot of angles, but I was like, look, at the end of the day, we do our work. She owes us, at the very least. Neither one of us have anything going on right now. I got a fat bank account because I just got back from Houston, Texas. I don't have anything to lose. I go out and spend some money with gas, and I take some pictures. And at the very least, if she doesn't pay us, she owes us. And that's the conversation, was we understood that she was shitty. We understood that she might not pay us what she owed us, but we were going to do it anyway. So we did it. At first she said we were going to spend 5 days a week getting insured customers to sign contracts. And then we were going to do an initial inspection. And the last 2 days of the week, we were responsible for scheduling inspections with existing insured people in order to come back and reassess the repairs that were made and make sure everything was done right and everything was repaired the way it was supposed to be repaired, and to see if there was any further damage. That was our job. I took pictures. I didn't have to label anything necessarily. I took pictures and I sent it to them every day. Now, I didn't necessarily go all out. As an insurance adjuster, I tried to limit myself, my first storm, to 2 claims a day. And now some insurance adjusters will say, oh, you're crazy. You can make so much more money than that. Well, I understand. I just wasn't capable of it at that time. But this was a completely different scenario altogether. This was post-storm. So we're just making sure everything's done. There's no need to go and Xactimate and type out all the information. I'm just taking pictures and sending it to the people. Hey, here you go. Where's my $200? Now, in the contract itself, there is no declaration or description or clarification on how you get paid and who's paying you and how long it takes. The only description, the only clarification in our contract says that you take pictures, you send it to us, and we pay you $200. Literally, that's as clear as they wrote it, and it really was bad for them. Now, I hadn't gone full into it. I wasn't scheduling a lot of claims, not that I didn't want to, but people weren't answering the phone, which was shady to me. At first, that was kind of shifty, like, okay, I'm not used to this. People pick up the phone immediately during Hurricane Harvey, like, yeah, my house is flooded. Yeah, my walls are falling apart. Yeah, come out, take pictures so I can make sure that I get my insurance money and I can take care of this damaged property. Yes, come out, walk on my roof. I don't care what you do. Have sex with my wife. Eat out of my refrigerator. Do whatever it is you want to do. Just make sure that I get my insurance check. People didn't care what time of day it was, what day of the week it was. Just come out and do your job and make sure that I can take care of my business. Now, this time around, people weren't answering the phone. They want to know who you were. Why are you coming out? I don't recognize that name. So you basically had to sell yourself to these people, which was a big red flag for me because it made me think like, okay, this whole thing that Shathid has got us doing doesn't seem like it's on the up and up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's about. If it's a con, I don't know what the angle is. But whatever. She's going to owe me money at the end of this. That's all that matters. Well, I had gone and I had done, and to an insurance adjuster, this is going to sound pathetic. I'd done 10 claims. And the reason I'd done 10 claims was 2 parts. Mainly because nobody was answering the phone. It was hard to schedule inspections. And secondly, because I wasn't that invested. I knew that this was probably not going to work out for my best interest. So living in Central Florida, I had to drive 2 hours every day to the site, the area, the town which these claims existed, more or less. So I wasn't going to spend a lot of my money to do something that I wasn't entirely positive I was going to get paid for doing in the first place. Now, I'd done about 10 claims. I'd gone through a bunch of garbage. I driven back and forth. I spent a lot of my own money on gas and eating out there and whatever. And at the end of the day, I just spend 2 hours and drive back home. No big deal. I don't have to pay for lodging. That's cool. So at one point, and I hadn't done very many, but I'd done some work and I'd sit my pictures out. And I had even gone through the trouble of labeling them because I felt like you're paying me $200. I might as well do something for you guys, right? So I even labeled my pictures and sent it back to Top Risk. And I was doing my job as far as I was concerned. And about 3 weeks in, I noticed I haven't been paid yet. And I sent a message to Shathid and said, look, Shathid, do you need my account information from my bank? And she said, why? And I was like, what do you mean, why? Because I'm trying to get paid. Do you guys have direct deposit? And she's like, oh, no, we don't need all that. So I was like, okay, you'll just mail me a check, whatever. A couple more weeks go by, and I'm still doing claims, and I still haven't gotten any money. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna slow it down from here. I'm gonna do whatever else I have left in my agenda and my schedule. I'm going to look at my calendar and see what's left. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm done. Now at this point, my stepdad Mike, he had already done so many claims. He was making me look bad, but to me it was like I wasn't going to do the work if I wasn't getting paid for it. He was going all out, which actually plays to his benefit. But a couple more weeks go by, and I start sending out text messages. Hey, what's going on with the money? What's going on with this? And she says, well, the company that we're working for hasn't paid us, so we can't pay you. And immediately I'm thinking, look, the number one reason that I began this situation, number one reason you gave, even though I knew fully that she wasn't on the up and up and I might not get paid. By the way, if you're watching this and you know who you are, I knew you weren't trustworthy. I knew it from day one. I knew there were going to be problems. That says a lot about you, and you need to stop being so arrogant and full of yourself and understand that I saw that, having never worked for you before, and you proved it true. You proved me right. Anyway, so she says, look, the people we're working for haven't paid us yet in order to pay you. And they're like, okay, fine. That was in February. In February of 2018. What is it today? September of 2018. Now I did about 10 claims. She owes me $2,000, which isn't a lot of money to some people. That's a lot of money to me, man. That's a lot of plans. That's a lot of things going on. If another hurricane hit, that's money that could help me get hotel rooms and pay for gas, etc., and go out there and make another $30,000-$40,000. That can help me get started. So I said, look, Shathid, it's been 4 months at that point. It's been 4 months. You need to write a check to me and write a check to Mike and make sure we get paid this week. And from that moment, things just escalated and got worse. She was like, how dare you? Who do you think you're talking to? Do you have any idea how long I've been in this industry, etc., blah, blah, blah. And in my head, all I'm thinking is, look, you created a company. You took the time to go out and hire employees. You took the time to put the work together. Your number one priority at that point, your number one fucking priority is making sure that you pay the people that are working for you. You pay them. That's all you need to worry about. That's it. Doesn't matter if you're being paid by another company or not. If that money has to come out of your personal bank account, if you need to sell a car, if you need to liquidate some assets in order to pay the people that you have chosen to employ, that's what you need to do. Those are your responsibilities. Plain and simple, cut and dry, that's it. It may not be palatable, it may not be fair to you, but that's what your responsibilities are, and that's it. So she got upset with me and I said, look, you need to make this a priority. You need to make paying us a priority. And all of my text messages were very, 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 very polite. I wasn't trying to start problems, but I was trying to address the issue and make it clear what it is that I wanted. And that was all I was trying to do. She said, you know what you just did? You just put yourself at the end of my priorities, the bottom of my list. And that was like 3 months ago. And I was like, you know what? That's screwed up. That's $2,000 you owe me. You, Shathid Hetherington, you owed me that much money. You owe my stepfather that much money. And arguably, you owe whoever else you haven't paid that much money. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care what family members have died. I don't care what kind of trips you've had to make. I don't care if you lost your job. I don't care if the IRS is knocking on your door trying to get a payment from you. You owe me money too. That's your priority. That's it. Now a couple more months go by. I haven't heard anything. It's been crickets. It's been crickets from her. And I've sent her text messages. What's the deal with this? What's the deal with that? At some point she actually responded. She said, look, these people, top intelligent insurance hasn't paid us, but what we're going to do is we're going to pay you, and then we're going to subrogate, which means they're going to go after them for the money they owe. That's what subrogation is. We're going to pay you guys, the adjusters. We're going to go after them for what we paid because they owe us and we owe you. So it's going to be okay. Just give us a couple weeks. We got our lawyers on it. And this is verbatim. Verbatim, that's what she said. A couple weeks go by, nothing. Crickets. And I start saying, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on? It says, Smart still hasn't paid. So every step of the way, this person has said something and pretended as if that didn't exist and moved on to say something else, and then pretended as if that didn't exist and move on to say something else and pretended as if that didn't exist. Now we're in September 16th, 17th of 2018, and I started working in February, and I still haven't been paid. She still owes me $2,000. She owes my stepdad $2,000, and God knows how much she owes other people that work for her. It's ridiculous. And at one point, she said, I apologize for the lack of communication. I just got back from Paris. My mother died. Sorry. Condolences. But you just got back from Paris? And you haven't been able to pay us? You went to Paris and you couldn't pay us? A couple more weeks go by. We say, what's up? What's going on with this? And she said, I apologize. I was out of the country. Wait, you were out of the country again. You were able to afford to leave the country again, yet you can't pay your employees? What the actual fucking fuck is wrong with you? That you think we have to wait for things to work the way you expect them to in order for us to get paid? I need to check in my mailbox 6 fucking months ago. 6 fucking months ago, I need to get paid. And it's September, it's the end of the year, and you still haven't paid us, shithead. You still haven't paid us. And you think that this is justifiable. Well, her whole mindset is that she's got lawyers, she's got people on her side, she's got, by the way, I've done my research, don't ask me how I know this, but she has $436,000 in assets. And that could be literal, that could be perceptual, doesn't matter. You have that much. You can make sure that we get paid what you owe. I don't care if you got to sell a Benz. I don't care if you got to sell your house. I don't care if you got to live on the street. You made a choice to start a company. You made a choice to hire people to do a job. You now owe them that money for the work they've done. It doesn't matter how that leaves you. It doesn't matter how convenient it is for you. It doesn't matter if your son's in a fucking psych ward or a rehab center and you owe them money, or if he's just funneling money from you. The circumstances are irrelevant. I'm a real life human being that you hired to do a job. You owe me money. Pay it forward. Pay me the money. I don't care how you end up at this point. Now I sent her another message today, and I tried, like I said, I try to be diplomatic about it. I try not to be rude. She told us at one point, she told us to send all the remaining information we had, and she'll make sure we get paid. I was like, okay. Then I sent her a message. Any news on when we may receive payment? That was on July 7th. No response. Any news on this subject would be much appreciated. That was on July 20th. Now keep in mind, I'm giving her like almost a week and a half, 2 weeks before I'm sending messages. I'm not harassing this lady. I'm just saying, look, I'm letting you know you owe us. I understand there are a lot of semantics involved, but you need to get us paid. That's your priority. That's it. Doesn't matter if you like me, you agree with me or not. You owe me money. That's the only thing that should be important to you right now. On August 6th, I said, a response would be very comforting. That's all I said. And that was August 6th. Now, today, I think it's the 16th of September, I said, will your company take responsibility for assuring we are paid if Intelligent Insurance does not? Question mark. It's well past being unethical, ridiculous, and unprofessional. I think that's fair. I think it's true. I think it's honest. There was no response. I still haven't received a response. I'm not sure if she's blocked me or not. Now, I want to reassure you that I haven't been harassing this lady, but even if I have harassed her, I'm a former employee. You owe me a substantial amount of money. You owe people in my household a substantial amount of money. You're obligated to pay that. Now, the next thing, and I know what a lot of people, if you feel like responding or commenting to this video, what you're going to tell me is, you need to take it to court. You need to get a lawyer, and you need to do this, and you'll get your money. But here's the thing, man, and here's what she knows. And she's gonna lose. If we took it to court, she would lose, hands fucking down. I've got my contract, I've got the information, I've got the wording, I've got the history, I've got text messages, I've got pictures, I've got emails. It's over for her. She's dead in the fucking water. No matter, I don't care if she's got Cochran as a lawyer. She's toast. She's vaporized. Here's the problem. I'm not going to go to court over $2,000 and end up paying my lawyer most of that and go home with $400. My whole thing is just be a stand-up person. Just be an honest human being and make sure that the money you owe me is going into my pocket. Just send me a paycheck. Like I said, sell a fucking giraffe, you opulent prick. Sell something of yours. Quit being a stingy bitch and make sure I get paid. Now, I apologize for all the profanity, but I feel like it's warranted here. Now this is just my story as an insurance adjuster, as a human being. My first experience as an insurance adjuster was pretty immaculate. It was fantastic. It took me a little while to get paid at first, which is typical of the insurance industry. But after that, man, I had money coming in constantly, thousands of dollars deposits. And if you're interested in the insurance industry, it's not that hard to get into it, especially if you're in Central Florida. Look up a school by the name of Central Insurance School. The instructor's name is Diana Fink. There's 4-day school, and it'll cost you like $450, which sounds ridiculous. But at the end of that, they pretty much guarantee it's so hard to fail this class. And after that, you'll have your license. I'm personally a licensed insurance adjuster in the states of Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. Because I'm from Louisiana, I went to Texas for Harvey, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to need, and I'm living in Florida now. Between the dates of September 2017 and November 2017, I made $20,000. Less than 2 months, so $20,000. And some people go out there and they'll make $150,000. They're just pumping stuff out. It was my first year. I didn't know what I was doing. But this situation where I worked for about a month and a half, and I still can't get paid, that's a horror story. That's a horror story from the insurance industry. And if anybody who is in Central Florida, Tampa Bay area sees this and wants to know who exactly this Shathid person, this shithead person is, send me a message. I'll let you know who it is. She's pretty prominent as far as I know in the insurance industry, but you can't trust her. She's very cunning. She's like a snake in the grass, man. And I'm glad that I knew that ahead of time. I'm glad this wasn't a surprise. I saw it coming since day one. Went out on the patio and looked my stepdad in the eyes and said, you know what? She's probably not going to pay us because she screwed you over once. That's how people do. That's how she's going to do us. But even if she does it that way, she's going to owe us money. So as far as I'm concerned, if she wants to call that harassment or not, the more text messages I send, the more justified I am. The more time goes on. You owe me money. Make sure you get it to me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your patronage. I appreciate you guys checking me out. This is a little glimpse into the madness of my life and what I do in my personal life. If you'd like to know more about the insurance industry, if you'd like to know more about this situation, be sure to contact me over YouTube directly. Make sure you guys leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like this video if you like this video. Hit the bell if you want to see more videos from me. You want to know when these videos come out. And I appreciate you guys watching. God bless. Cat McQuacken out.